Rank 1. The candidate. Moscow, 1963. You're 21 years old, third year at MGIMO, the Moscow State Institute of International Relations. Your English is nearly perfect. You've been told this before, by professors, by friends, by the girl you dated for 2 years, who eventually said it like an accusation. One afternoon in October, a man sits across from you in the cafeteria. He's not a professor. He doesn't introduce himself. He asks if you love the Soviet Union. You say yes. Everyone says yes. He asks if you would like to do something about it. The meeting lasts 22 minutes. You don't get his name. He gets yours. 3 weeks later, a letter arrives at your dormitory. No return address, a time, a date, an address in southwestern Moscow. You go. You're told only 3 things. The work is important, the work is secret, and once you begin, you do not stop. You sign a document you're not allowed to keep a copy of. Junior lieutenant, provisional. Pay, 210 rubles per month. The average Soviet factory worker makes 130. Nobody knows. Rank 2. The trainee. And drop off Red Banner Institute, 1963 to 1967. The institute doesn't look like what it is. Low buildings, birch trees, a bus route nobody takes twice without knowing where it goes. You spend the next 4 years here. First year, English immersion. Total. No Russian for 6 hours a day. You eat American food, approximated by canned goods and briefing packets about diners and drugstores. You watch American television. You read American newspapers from 2 weeks ago. You learn not just the language, but the body language. How Americans hold their silverware. How they say not a problem when they mean you're welcome. How they tip. Second year, tradecraft. Dead drops, brush passes, surveillance detection routes. How to recognize if you're being followed without ever looking behind you. How to lose a tail in a city you've never been to. How to make a phone call that says nothing and means everything. Third year, legend construction. This is the most important year. This is where you become someone else. Your name will be David Young, born in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, 1942. Father, electrical engineer. Mother, school teacher. 1 brother. Moved to London at 24 for work. An accent that sits between Canadian and British, naturalized to neither. Your instructors tell you that legend construction takes years because real identities have texture. Real people have a dentist, a landlord who remembers them, a pub they went to on Fridays, a minor traffic incident in 1961. David Young has all of these. You do not yet know where David Young is going. 4th year, communications, shortwave radio, one-time pads, cipher systems, how to encode a message in 90 seconds, how to receive a number station transmission at 2 a.m. and know which numbers mean what, how to destroy the key afterwards so completely that even you couldn't reconstruct it. In 1967, you graduate. The ceremony is not a ceremony, a handshake, a new set of documents, a briefing. David Young is going to London. Pay, 280 rubles per month, plus operational budget in sterling, drawn from a neutral account in Vienna. 200 pounds per month. You will use this to be British. Rank 3, the illegal. London, 1967 to 1979. You arrive at Heathrow as David Young. You have a Canadian passport. A letter of reference from a London accounting firm that believes it hired you through a recruitment agency that no longer exists. A flat in Shepherd's Bush, arranged through a letting agent who will not remember you. You work as an accounts clerk. Middle management by 1971. Reliable. Quiet. The kind of man whose neighbors would describe as nice enough. Your actual job, you attend public events near Whitehall. You note which civil servants drink too much, which defense contractors have financial problems, which researchers at GCHQ have expensive hobbies that don't match their salaries. You don't recruit them, you observe them, you build files. Every 6 weeks you encode a report on your kitchen table at 11 p.m. using your one-time pad. You transmit it on a shortwave frequency at 2:17 a.m. You burn the pad. In 12 years, you are never late with a report. In 12 years, you're never caught. Your colleague, you never meet him, you only know his legend. His name is Peter Adams. He's based in Brussels. Disappears in 1974. You don't know if he was caught, turned, or died. No one tells you. The silence is the answer. You don't stop. By 1979, you've identified 14 potential recruitment targets across British defense. 3 of them were subsequently approached by other KGB officers through separate channels. You will never know what came of any of them. In November 1979, you receive a message in your number's transmission that includes your recall code. You go back to Moscow for the first time in 12 years. You speak Russian for an entire day. Before it feels natural again, they promote you. Pay 420 rubles per month, plus a one-time debriefing bonus, 3,000 rubles. Rank 4, the handler, Helsinki, 1980 to 1985. You don't go back to London. You know too many faces there now. In this work, familiarity is liability. You're based in Helsinki. Official cover, trade attaché at the Soviet embassy. This gives you diplomatic immunity and a reason to be in Finland. Your actual job, running 3 illegals across Western Europe. You never meet them in their target countries. You meet in Helsinki, in Vienna, once in Rome, a coffee shop, a park bench, a hotel bar, 30 minutes, handoff of materials, collection of reports, back to your separate worlds. One of them, your most productive, is a woman. She's been embedded in a West German Defense Research Institute for 7 years. She's a secretary with a level 2 clearance and a memory like a camera. Every month she passes you 30 pages of technical data on West German signals infrastructure. You don't know her real name. She doesn't know yours. In 1983, she tells you she wants to stop. You tell her you understand. You report the conversation to Moscow. Moscow sends you new instructions. You meet her in Vienna in February 1984. You tell her she can stop in 2 years. You tell her there will be a pension, a safe exit, a new life. All of this is partially true. She continues. In 1985, she's pulled out. You never hear what happened to her. You request a transfer. It's granted. Pay 520 rubles per month. A Moscow apartment, 2 rooms, assigned to your wife, whom you've seen for a total of 14 months in the past 10 years. She doesn't ask questions. She learned not to. Rank 5, the resident. New York, 1986 to 1990. Resident, KGB station chief. You command the entire New York residency. 12 officers under official diplomatic cover. 6 more under unofficial cover. Businessmen, academics, journalists. A technical surveillance unit. An analyst team. Your operational budget, $4.2 million per year. Your target, the United States government, its defense contractors, and its financial institutions. The Cold War in 1986 looks different from your desk than it did from a flat in Shepherd's Bush. You can see more of it. You can see how many pieces are moving. You have 3 sources inside the US defense apparatus. One of them you will never name in a report, not because he isn't valuable, but because the moment you report him, he becomes a bureaucratic asset, and bureaucratic assets get handled by people who are less careful than you. In 1989, the wall comes down. You watch it on American television. CNN. Anchors who can't quite hide their excitement. You understand it's over before anyone in Moscow says so out loud. Your sources stop producing, not because they've been caught, because they've decided to wait and see who wins. In January 1990, you receive instructions to reduce residency operations by 40%. You reduce them by 40%. In August, by 60%. In December, you close 4 of your 6 unofficial cover positions. The machine is eating itself. Pay 720 rubles per month, which is now worth approximately nothing because the ruble is collapsing. Your American operational account still has $400,000 in it. Instructions for what to do with it have not arrived. You sit in your office on 67th Street with $400,000 you can't spend and watch the 6 p.m. news. Rank 6, Directorate S, Lubyanka, 1991. You're recalled to Moscow in February 1991. Directorate S, the Illegals Directorate. The unit that sends people like you to places like London and New York and tells them to become someone else. You are now the one doing the sending, in theory. In August 1991, you're in your office at Lubyanka when the coup attempt begins. Hardliners seize the television stations. Tanks roll into the streets. A fax arrives from the coup committee asking for your directorate's support. You don't respond. The coup fails in 72 hours. In December 1991, Gorbachev resigns. The Soviet Union ceases to exist. Your office is now part of an organization called the SVR, the Foreign Intelligence Service. New name. Same building, same files, same illegals, the ones who are still out there, in cities you cannot officially acknowledge, who haven't gotten the message that the country that sent them is gone. US Spend 6 months writing letters to people who don't officially exist, in places you cannot officially name, telling them that the state they swore to serve has dissolved. Some of them write back, most don't. Pay 940 rubles per month, which by December 1991 buys 3 weeks of groceries. Somewhere in Moscow right now, a man who doesn't introduce himself is sitting across from a university student in a cafeteria. The student's English is nearly perfect. The man asks if she loves Russia. She says yes. The names change. The system doesn't.